I said, baby, I am not the one to play with. Ain't the type to give up, I'm driven and motivated. I just want some recognition and some compensation. But this ain't about the money and it ain't about the fame. I got lightning in a bottle, I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out. Lightning in a bottle, I think I just found my perfect sound. Can you see the fire in my eyes? Bitch, it's burning out.
Yo, how you living, how you feeling, how you doing? First Choice Fantasy, and we are back. This is week 2 of the NFL season after our first week of start sits. Today we're going to dive into quarterbacks. Before that, Alex, explain our scoring system and how we all came out last week in standings-wise, I suppose.
All right, so we were going to do win-loss, but that's boring as hell. So instead I made a totally subjective point system that probably will not make any sense to any of you, but that's fine. So we got 5 outcomes here. You can get a -2, a -1, a 0, a 1, or a 2. It just depends on how good you do. If you did really good with your pick, you get a 2. If you did okay, you did solid. If you said to start the guy and he had a solid showing, you get a 1 or a -1 if he had a bad showing. But the 2s are reserved for boom or bust. And 0 is or if he gets hurt, because I'm not punishing people for picking an injured player. I'm not going to be like, well, that guy was a bust because he tore his Achilles. That's not very nice. So injuries are just a wash. You get a 0 there. But for example, who was it? Someone picked Ed picked Ronald Jones to sit. What do you get? Like 9.5 points? Somewhere in that range. So I just gave him a 0 because I figured, you're not incredibly excited about that, but if you started Ronald Jones and you put up 9.5 points, you're not like, damn, that's why I lost. I was really counting on 25. So, with that being said, our week 1 scores were Brandon led the way with a -1. I had a not great week at -6, and Ed and I took some big swings, and it really didn't pay off for Ed at times with a -9.
At all.
We're going to keep a running tally on this, and we might highlight week winners, like Brandon won this week. I should also point out that, with injuries occurring, it's probably going to push some of the scores down. Let's be real here. If Le'Veon Bell and Marlon Mack were continuing where they were, I had Marlon Mack as a start and Bell as a sit. Now those are 0s, so that's taking points off the board for me, but that's fun. We'll take the negative.
The nature of the game.
Exactly.
Can't predict those things.
Yeah.
And week 1's always the roughest. So.
Yeah. Some of my picks did not go very well, but I guess we're about to get into that. Again, Brandon, you're in the lead with a -1, -6. Ed bringing up the rear with a -9. Without any further ado, let's get into these busts for this week.
Let's hop into it. We're going to do quarterbacks today, and 1 start, 1 sit per person. And I guess I will dive into my first start with Aaron Rodgers against the Detroit Lions. So I was stuck here between Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady. If you want to have an honorable mention, I guess I can say Tom Brady. But Aaron Rodgers against the Detroit Lions. The Lions played the Bears last week, okay? Mitchell Trubisky is their quarterback, in case you were unaware. He was starting week 1, okay? He put up, 23 fantasy points, I believe, something along those lines, which was the 8th most of all quarterbacks last week.
Good.
Mitchell Trubisky. Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers fully on the revenge tour. I should point out, he was my sit last week, and that did not work out. I was doubting the Aaron Rodgers revenge campaign, but maybe I was way too quick to do that because my man went off. Who needs receivers? Not Aaron Rodgers.
He made Valdez Scantling look like D-Hop. Allen Lazard looked like a fucking stud. I mean,
I kept looking at that was a low-scoring game at first. I remember being feeling kind of confident about that, and then I didn't check football for a while because the Eagles were getting mushed, and I didn't care about the other scores. And the game was over. I was like, Rodgers exploded. Okay.
I would have told
for my credibility.
No, you would have batshit crazy.
I mean, good for him. Maybe that was the Packers' strategy. We'll just waste all of our draft picks and we'll take a quarterback in the first round, and Rodgers will win us the next 3 Super Bowls. It works.
Got lit under his ass real quick.
Rodgers has always beat up on porous defenses too.
Yeah.
So
Are the
I'm
Vikings the
tempering.
poorest
I'm
defense,
tempering.
though?
Oh yeah. Vikings defense. I think they took
Definitely
a
better
step
than
back.
Detroit's shit ass defense. Although Ed
Oh
made the
yeah.
point here that he the only negative with him is that they could be winning by so much so early that he has to stop throwing the ball.
Yeah.
That was probably the only negative. I mean, another positive is the fact that it's Detroit's top 3 cornerbacks are Kuda, somebody else, don't know off the top of my head. They're all
Justin Coleman, I believe, is one of them.
Yeah, Justin Coleman with hamstring. Oh, Desmond Trufant as well. Hamstring injuries for all 3 of them, which is lingering obviously as a cornerback. And yeah, it's a positive.
Now I like your pick with Aaron Rodgers, and I like the fact that you acknowledge the fact that it's likely and possible for Aaron Rodgers and the Green Bay Packers to just blow them out. That's kind of where I got my start personally with Matt Ryan's, is because I think they're going against I don't think Dallas Cowboys defense is very good. I think they're treading about average.
They get Van Der Esch back.
Yeah,
Are they getting Van Der Esch back?
But I
Has
don't
that
really know
been
if that helps
verified?
them cover Julio Jones.
Mm-hmm.
No shot.
But
Unless he has lost a lot of weight.
yeah, the difference between Aaron Rodgers and Matt Ryan's, though, team-wise, is that Green Bay has a better defense than Atlanta. And Atlanta, same as always, it seems like, are always getting torched. This offense is always needing to put up points. Last week, Matt Ryan's created three wide receivers with 100 yards and over. Julio Jones, Russell Gage, my waiver wire pickup, gotta mention him, and also Calvin Ridley. We've all been waiting for it. Is it his time? I don't know. But I think it's Matt Ryan's time to blow up. And this is strange, because I was thinking of some negatives, play devil's advocate for Matt Ryan's not being a start. And I was like, well, I mean, first you would look at, well, he's away. But then I looked into Matt Ryan's away home splits. Matt Ryan's has 18 touchdowns to only 5 interceptions in away games, but yet 8 touchdowns to 9 interceptions in home games. I mean,
that's from last year.
This is from last year. And this might not matter as much this year because of fans not being there. Who knows? But that's the only negative I could think of, and it's not even a negative. It's a positive. I think it's going to be a high-scoring game. Put me down with Matt Ryan's as my start of the week.
I can dig it.
I'm going to go with another Matt Stafford, who I've been crushing on hard this year. If you remember from 30 seconds ago when we said that Green Bay was going to beat up on Detroit, that means Stafford's going to have to throw the ball a lot more. He did. I think he had 18 points, I believe, for me in one league. I mean, I get scoring differs by league, but whatever. He played solid last week, and conditions were not that great. DeAndre Swift dropped a sure touchdown, hurting everyone's point totals and the Lions record. Go Detroit. He was missing Galladay. Chicago's got a pretty solid defense. So, yeah, I'm looking for him to have another solid outing against Green Bay. Especially, hopefully, Galladay's back. High-scoring game.
You brought
put up some points.
You brought up the Swift drop. It just leads me to question, not really relating to your start option, but what would be worse, being the guy dropping a game-winning touchdown, or like the Bengals kicker missing a straight-up kick? That kick was closer than a PAT.
I don't know if you guys
feel like,
but he said that his calf was hurting, but in the picture in the video, it was his right calf.
Yeah, and he grabbed the opposite calf.
Not a good look. Yeah, I mean, that aside, because that that's not solid. But I feel like it'd be worse for the running back because they would have won that game if Swift caught that, and Bullock would have just tied it. However, I would hope to be neither of them because it's not the greatest situation ever.
Well, a chance to even be one of them would be a privilege.
Be in the NFL,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was about to mention that, but
imagine the amount of stress, anxiety, and just like depression you go into after one of those games.
Yeah,
just go home and look at my bank account. Be like, that's right. Week 2. All right, let's get it. And then if they cut me, I would be not as happy.
I think the
Speaking
stress
of cuts
to like somebody like an Eagles fan, like us three Eagles fans, dealing with Washington's front 7 last week, and
I really should have gotten like a free vacation day.
Oh yeah.
Yesterday for that
mental health day. I would take it.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, my sit of the week for quarterbacks is Carson Wentz against another stacked front 4 in LA with the Rams. Aaron Donald, I'm very scared of. I think that he will likely break the sack record. I don't know.
I'm worried that he's gonna like pick Nate Herbig up and just throw him at Wentz.
Plausible, yeah.
And then Wentz will miss like 3 years because he got hit by a person.
Hey man, we spent a 2nd-round pick on Jalen Hurts. All that matters.
Yeah.
But
that's got a backup plan.
After Aaron Donald breaks through our non-existent defensive line and literally swallows Carson Wentz whole.
Comes out a few days later. But Jalen Ramsey obviously is also on that defense, who's fucking amazing. Our wide receiver.
On the bright side, our receivers still suck. So who's he going to guard?
Bright side, yeah, the bright side for me personally, for the scoring system and whatnot. But also, I was trying to look at positives, trying to think positives. One, I guess you could say, is that the fact that Carson Wentz is very erratic, and you really don't know like when he's going to have a good game, when he's going to have a bad game. So I guess that's good. I mean, But then Lane Johnson.
Not great for you. The Lane Johnson thing, I think, could be pretty big because, like, if you look at his career with and without Johnson, like, it's a pretty noticeable drop-off. Probably because when Johnson's not in the game, we go from all-pro right tackle to I've never heard of that guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is a problem. But, yeah, not ideal circumstances regardless. I would assume they'll have Sanders back, but I don't know if they'll be able to develop any sort of ground game. I mean, they pretty much just didn't try against Washington because I think they realized that it would not work.
Yeah. That was
I don't know. This Rams game is a tough one. I commend you for taking the shot.
Had to. Hurts my heart to say it, but Carson Wentz has to sit this week against the Rams.
This does not break my heart to say this at all, but I'm gonna put a pause on Minshew Magic for the week. Actually, this breaks my heart a little bit because I like Gardner Minshew.
Yeah,
that speech he gave after the game is just fun.
Yeah,
I like the dude. He just looks so funny. He even sounds funny, but I'd be good for him. He's out there balling out. They beat the Colts. He went 19 of 20.
Yeah.
2 touchdowns, carved the shit up out of that team. However, I don't think he's going to do that against Tennessee. Tennessee's a better defense. Also, Tennessee likes to just sit on the ball the whole game. So that could be problematic. It's hard to score a lot of points when you only have 2 possessions.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm going to go Minshew had a solid game 1. I would look elsewhere if you're on board with the hype. But then again, my sit for the first week was Rodgers, so maybe you should actually start Minshew. I guess we'll find out. Brandon.
Sean Watson is my sit. It's a little – it's one of the higher profile quarterbacks. Carson Wentz was looking pretty fine until Eddie swooped him up. And this is just matchup-wise, Baltimore Ravens defense has just been stout this year and the end of last year.
Pretty much all of time.
I mean, I can remember Baker Mayfield this past week, so it's not.
Yeah. I don't think Watson has enough weapons to go up against such a powerful defense. I think the weapons he does have can be shut down, and this defensive rush, the defensive line has just been a force in Baltimore. Calais Campbell coming in just made that so much more beautiful. And the line and just I see it as a negative game script, and I'm saying sit him.
I'm worried about Sean Watson's health, honestly, because he was getting pressured regularly last year.
Yes.
And I mean, then again, it is Frank Clark and whoever else they got over there in KC. But I mean,
Chris Jones is pretty
front
good.
forward is also very beautiful, as you said, Calais Campbell among other names, and very very scary. So I agree.
What a tough schedule for the Texans to start their year on. The Chiefs and then the reigning MVP, the Ravens. That's rough.
I think that's just because Goodell knows that the sooner he gets Bill O'Brien out of that team, the better.
Yeah.
He's like, we'll just make him play all of the good teams until they fire him.
Yeah.
Soft plan, if you ask me. You heard it here first, Deshaun Watson.
Sean Watson, sit of a week in Brandon's eyes. All right, that about wraps up the quarterbacks episode, starting sits for the week 2 in the NFL. So tune back in, I guess, probably right after this video. We're going to get the running backs uploaded for start sits week 2. So like, comment, subscribe, share. First Choice Fantasy, Ed, Alex, Brandon, deuces.
All right, later.